Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to discuss a topic that some of you might actually be able to strongly relate to in this game of Watcher of Realms. That is how to actually deal with bad pulls in your account, or if you think that your account is cursed to some extent. So before we move in and discuss about it, let's just take a look at what do I have in my account. Just give you a brief look about how much I have summoned. I have already accumulated about 1038 summons, and how long I have been playing this account. Let's see, where do I actually? Oh yeah, daily sign in. As you can see, it's 53 days have been playing this account. Now look at my hero pools. So this is all my legendaries that I have. I actually don't really spend my money in getting pools. I only spend some money in buying stamina potion just to trying to get the first place in Oracle. My spending is probably somewhere around $200 just by stamina potion alone. So back to my account. As you can see, I do have a Vienna, and you might be thinking, hey, how is this guy facing any bad luck experience? Like, Vienna is damn top tier, right? Yeah, I completely agree that she's very good, and she certainly plays a very important role in my account progress. But if you look into my other characters, like especially these few characters, then you might start to notice that it's actually not that great after all. Like take Abomination for example. When I fuse him and I got him, and I was I'm very happy about Abomination's performance. Like, I also think that he is quite a good hero to have, and a pretty top tier. But what comes after that is that I keep on pulling dupes. As you can see, I already awakened to him instead of having other legendary characters that could help me to progress, right? And on top of that, I got Shamil. Like, everybody, every curse account definitely get him for that reason, and he's probably like a meme character. So I get plenty of Azreen at this point. He might have some use, probably in some of the harder Void Rift difficulties, but at this point, I can actually hardly use him. I actually got him, like some of you might guessed it, the Hatsut and Setram banner not too long ago. But instead of getting either Hatsut or Setram, like my friend did, I got 2 copy of him instead. So that was pretty devastating, to be honest. And to add salt to the wound, I get a 3rd copy, not from that banner, but right after it, there is another 2x invocation banner, like I think a week or 2 later. Instead, I got a legendary. It's another Azreen. So that makes me getting 3 Azreen consecutively, in a row. Next, Regulus is actually a pretty okay hero. He actually does very well in Gear Raid 2 from stage 1 to 18. I'm not sure about 19. I mean, I do see some people use him on 19, but I got him after I've already cleared stage 21 instead, by using the Woka Chi static. At that point, I only got him, and it's a bit pointless for me. Maybe he could have some use in White Rift, which I might have consider using him in future. So that's really all my legendaries. But I do want to make a point that my epics are actually pretty good. Like for starters, I do have Dolores, which is very important in any account. I do know that some people still haven't get her after like 1,000 or even 2,000 pools, so that is like really unfortunate. I do have a Vortex, and I do have a Tauriel. Yeah, I also got Oleg pretty early, but nowadays they have given you a free Oleg, so it's pretty good from developer on their part. Oh yeah, forgot to mention actually, I do have a crush. I don't know, is that how you pronounce him in this game? Is this hero over here? Let me see. Watchguard. Yeah, this guy over here. I sold him to get my legendary crystal. I know it can be quite a foolish move. Many people has been advising that not to sold off your legendaries because like they are constantly getting revamped and stuff. But I choose to sold him, which I will explain in later part of my video. So having explained my profile and my characters, let's go to the heart of this video. That is how to actually deal with bad summoning experience. I will break this topic into two parts. That is the mental part, how to deal with this situation mentally, and the technical part, what are the ways, solution you can deal in this situation. First, the mental part and what kind of mindset or psychology you should adopt in this situation. Well, a common solution is to actually just to quit the game, and in my opinion is actually not a bad solution, because a game should actually brings you more joy than suffering or frustration. I am for one not going to gaslight people by telling them that they are too weak to continue the game despite all the kind of experience that they are facing. So calling them weak or ask them to get good is actually very distasteful in my opinion. And of course we also have a lot of things to prioritize in life, so I think game shouldn't be the one. And also it's not an exaggeration when I say such level of if you are facing any bad luck pulls in any gacha game for the matter, it can actually affect one person's mental health. And if you feel that your mental health is being compromised, then it is very advisable that you quit the game altogether. So how do I know this game is really like affecting me? Like really, for one, you generally feel very devastated every time when you see your friends or your peers having better pools than you. Secondly, if you are playing with your friends, you are constantly having this bad luck Olympics with them, and to some extent you might actually ruin your relationship with your friend. Thirdly, you are also constantly complaining about the units you have when you are comparing it with your peers, and then sometimes you might be shitting on your friends, how they can actually progress so much faster than you because they got all these S tier units and they got so lucky to have all these units and you don't. Personally, I'm also fairly guilty of this. These three situation that I described, as I'm actually a fairly competitive person in game. I noticed this is actually not very healthy for me, and I'm still trying to improve myself over the time. If you are the sort of person that is just playing casually for fun, then this should be fairly easy for you to overcome with such, you probably don't have that kind of emotion that I just described. So consider quitting the game if you are really experiencing those three situations and facing a mental breakdown as I described. Next, the second solution, which is also part of the mental solution when you are having all this bad luck, is to actually spend minimally on any gacha game for the matter. Because the lesser you spend, the lesser you actually feel attached to the game. And the less attached you are, well, the less you probably get less frustrated even if you actually get bad pulls. It's simple as that. With that being said, of course I'm also not a free to play player as I initially explained in this video. My spending is only just limited to stamina potions because I feel that stamina potion is something that I will guarantee get if I place my real money in this game, versus if I actually spend money in diamonds and or gems to get more pools, I am not necessarily able to get the character that I want. Additionally, in my country, the currency to buy diamonds for summons is actually like really expensive. It's almost like one summons in this game, we are talking about like 88 diamonds, could actually cost me a meal in my country. So it's like really expensive, and certainly I couldn't afford it. Yeah. But back to my point earlier, if you are really spending like a lot of money just on summons that is something that you cannot guarantee get, then you certainly feel like really frustrated. Like imagine if you spend like 200 US dollar, 300 US dollar, like all you get is just Shamil, Azor or Crutch, then that must certainly feel very terrible and salty, right? Yeah, that's all I want to share about dealing with bad luck mentally. Let's talk about how to deal with the situation in the more technical aspect. So what could we possibly achieve, or what could I possibly achieve with this limited pool of legendary heroes? I'll start off with my least favorite achievement, that is guild boss, because my hero pool is not really built for single target DPS for the matter. So I just like cleared the guild boss earlier. I can only do like Nightmare 2 and Nightmare 3, and let's take a look. So I can deal about close to 10k blood for Nightmare 2, and for some reason I can deal a little bit more on Nightmare 3. Yeah. Now on the campaign side, I have already cleared hard and expert for all the campaigns. Normal I couldn't clear the latest chapter because that chapter is actually very, very difficult. I believe chapter 9, clearing all chapter 9 is even quite challenging even for whales who have, or veteran players who have played this game for a very long time. But other than that, I actually cleared until the latest experience farm map, that is after 9/7. So it's a pretty good achievement in my opinion. Now let's talk about arena. I'm able to achieve overlord constantly every challenge, and claim every season rewards in this limited pool of heroes. So actually after you achieve overlord, you just have to maintain being an overlord, and anything higher, aside from you trying to achieve the top one, any other rank is actually pretty irrelevant at the moment for this game. So yeah. Last but not least, I want to show you what I could achieve in Gear 8. So in Gear 8 1, I have already achieved stage 19. Gear 8 2, as I mentioned earlier, I already achieved stage 21 just by using the Woka tactic. And finally, Gear 8 3, which I just achieved, I think 4 days ago, stage 19. Yeah. So these are the things that I could still achieve, even though my hero pools are not exactly very desirable. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I could also achieve stage 18 in Gear 8. Artifact rate as well. So what are the tips to progress, even though you don't exactly have the limited pool of high tier characters? So to start off with, you don't really actually need good legendary to progress. Sure, the good legendary heroes will actually help you progress much easier and much faster, but not having S tier legendary heroes could also still help you to progress the game as well. Basically, you just need to find a way to progress all these gear rates, and having those equipment to help you to progress even further. I know it sounds really repetitive, but that's how this game works. And in my opinion, about 60% of the progress of this game actually relies on good equipment, and the rest of the 40% is actually relies on the character, a specific character for you to progress in this gear rate. That's in my opinion. I mean, you might have a different opinion, and that's fine. But to qualify my statement, what I mean to be able to help you progress is only up to stage 19. I will admit that 2021 above, you'll need really specific, strong, probably even legendaries to help you progress. Stage 1 and 3, stage 20 and 21 onwards. But other than that, sometimes a certain good epic heroes is good enough for you to clear the stage. Also, in my opinion, the most important stage for the gear rates is actually stage 19, because that is where you can have access to all those really strong and imba equipment, like for example, Gear Rate 3, the Infernal Roar, and the Soulbound Arcana. Yeah, these are all the endgame equipments that you want to get. Although I said epic, strong legendary heroes are not really necessary for you to progress the game, but a strong epic hero is actually quite necessary for you to progress the game. However, epic heroes are relatively much easier to get than good legendary heroes, because of the rates that they drop is much more higher. So I believe that if you play the game long enough, you will eventually get the kind of epic heroes that you desire. Now, as to how do you move on into all this stage to stage 19, there are actually plenty of resources, videos out there to guide you how to actually clear those stages. There are many people who are also doing epics only clears. You could probably refer to those heroes and get some new inspiration and how to build your team into clearing all these stage. So I really encourage you guys to check those videos out. If you really couldn't find those videos, I will link some of my videos, the videos that I refer to for me to clear my gear rate at the description of this video. So yeah. On top of that, the game developer is also quite generous in giving you heroes that is actually very crucial for you to progress the game. Like for example, they give you a free Wrath for you during your 14-day sign in. It's a very good hero in my opinion. They also previously give you Isolde, the Lord for the Northern faction, and lately they also give you Lunaria, which is the Lord of Piercer. She is like very crucial in clearing the gear rate tree. And lastly, recently they also give you a free Oleg, which is a very powerful tanker as well. This hero could allows me to clear artifact rate 18 easily. Yeah. So on my next tip, this one can be a little bit controversial, which I kind of bring it up earlier. Is to actually, if you have a hero that you pull and like you don't like, for example, I don't like this Azrin Duke because I already have Azrin and Awakened one, and I couldn't see how he could actually help me progress in my gear rates or in my other map. Even though I will take him to Awaken 2, I don't really see like what are the benefits of doing so. Then I can actually opt to sell it and get more legendary crystals so that I could actually use those legendary crystal and skill up the more relevant characters like Viena. Yeah, I actually only did sold a legendary hero once in this game, which is the Crutch that I mentioned earlier. My reason is that sure, maybe they would buff the hero in the future, or maybe the buff they give is so much that I could regret it. But I can hardly see how this could possibly materialize because I have played multiple gacha games before, and I could notice a pattern in those gacha games, which is that not all heroes are actually created equally. So if you have also played many gacha games before, you should also probably notice this kind of pattern. It's almost like these gacha games are created like this intentionally, so that it actually makes player want to draw that specific that specific characters, and for them to like throw in more money. I mean, I could somewhat understand why the developers are doing so, because they also need to earn money to feed their family and stuff. So no grudge on my part on that. Sure, maybe they would consider buffing up all these like underwhelming heroes in the future, but in my experience, usually it will take them probably 2 or 3 months, sometimes even 6 months. I even like experience a year for them to buff a character, and even after they buff that character, usually it's like, yeah, it's just like they are a little bit stronger, but they are nowhere like significant enough to clear important contents, like in this case the gear rate 1, 2 and 3. Like Azor received buff recently. Shamil in the Forerunner server used to receive buff, but do you see like any content creator actually still use them to clear important contents like the gear rates? It's still not. I think the buff is just there to really like satisfy people who have them, but they are still nowhere important enough to be relevant in those content. So rather than keeping this hero and in my storage and do nothing, I've opted to sell some of the irrelevant heroes, legendary heroes, to get legendary crystal, so that I can use those legendary crystals, power up my important character, and progress further. Like in last time, I wanted to clear gear rate 19. I was so close to clearing it, and I sold my crutch to actually max out this Realness ultimate, and it actually helped me to clear gear rate 19 because of that skill up. So, I mean, you might have your own reason to keep it is fine, but these are my reasoning to actually sell out some of my legendary. But for Shamil, I'll keep it for a moment because I already like awakened him once, and I see a couple of videos that he is actually can be relevant in the guild war. Azrin, I'll just probably keep it for fun, but I'm looking at selling one of the copies if I'm desperate enough for the skill crystal. So yeah, that concludes my video today. I hope you guys find this video helpful. I apologize if the video is a bit too lengthy this time, but personally I feel there is a important topic to discuss, and there's a lot of nuances to be addressed in this game of Watcher of Realms. If you guys would like to see more of such video, do consider clicking the like button, as it will help this channel immensely. Also, if you guys would like to see how I clear like stage 19 with my current characters, like feel free to make a comment below, and I will try my best to accommodate. And until then, see you guys next time. Bye bye.